It's the Behind the Book Sports Betting Series live from the Aria Sportsbook on the lovely Las Vegas Strip. Gil Alexander from the Vegas Stats and Information Network, and the star of the show, lording over 10 sports books here in town, Vice President Racing Sports, MGM Resorts International, Jay Rude. Hello, Jay.
How are you doing?
I'm doing very well.
Haven't seen you in 4 hours.
3-4 hours. You broke some news on VSiN this morning.
Yeah.
A large bettor.
A large bettor's in town, and we're going to have a few large bettors in town, I think, with the Super Bowl coming up. So, yeah, the guys are out looking for some value, and you know, getting inquiries on both sides of the game here, and we're entertaining all offers. Please come and see us.
We'll talk all about those in detail. New England, Philadelphia, the Patriots currently favored by 4.5. We'll talk all about it. It's Behind the Book from the Aria, brought to you by the Play MGM app. Behind the Book, it's Gil Alexander, Jay Rude alongside the star of the show. Let's get to business. Super Bowl 52. The Patriots, as we speak, Jay, this has moved. As we have been sitting here at the lovely Aria Sportsbook, the number has gone to 4.5, down to 4.5. Patriots minus 4.5. The money line has adjusted as well. Patriots down to minus 190. The Eagles plus 170 coming back. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. The longer I wait, the more this Patriots money line is going to be favorable to me, because that's how Super Bowl betting works.
That's how Super Bowl betting works, yes. The value is always on the favorite money line, because they bet the Super Bowl, either they lay the favorite on the point spread, which you wouldn't know that as of today, because we went from 4.5 or 5.5 to 4.5, or they take a shot with the dog on the money line.
Right, which is different than their regular season behavior.
Most of the time,
Most of the time they take the dog with the points, not in the Super Bowl.
Not in the Super Bowl. I think it probably stirs a little bit stronger opinions amongst more people. And they, you know, it's hard to get excited about sort of even money bets, you know, 11 to 10.
Right.
A lot of people like betting, you know, $10 to win 18. You know, that's, you know, you're taking on. So, yeah, the value is always with the home team, which, you know, what do these numbers tell you has happened in the last few minutes?
That you had a very large wager on the Philadelphia Eagles. That's what it tells me.
That's probably pretty accurate, absolutely.
Do you care to tell us how large that wager was, Jay Rude?
Pretty big. Well, you know, probably one of the largest wagers we've taken in quite some time.
Not the largest of all time, but one of the largest?
One of the largest, yes.
Does it rhyme with 8 figures?
Not exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm trying.
Trying.
It's not given. But right now, Patriots minus 4.5. Do you have any sense? I know we do this all year. Sometimes gauging line movement is a fool's errand. But do you anticipate this going down more, or maybe down and then back up as the public bettors come in on the Patriots late?
I think a lot of the line is going to be dictated on the status of Rob Gronkowski. If he's cleared early, I think you can see this line start to float up again. If they play possum, which would the Patriots really do that to us, the public?
Of course.
And not give a complete status until, you know, late next week, then you might see this number really hover 4.5, 5. You know, but I think if they come out this week and say Rob's in, everything's good, we got all of our weapons, you can see this jump back up, because, you know, what I'm hearing is a lot of guys say that, you know, this is pretty good value on a point spread for the Patriots.
I would say that. I would say so. Very much so. Patriots, again, 4.5 point favorites right now with the total at 48. That's moving as well. It's a dynamic situation. We have a full week plus to talk about the game right here on Behind the Book. Back on Behind the Book, Super Bowl special. Gil Alexander and Jay Rude. Gil from VSiN, that's me. Jay from MGM, that's him. All right, so there's the Super Bowl betting pie. You've got the 3 big bets. The 3 big ones, of course, point spread, money line, and total. And then you've got this whole pool of what we call proposition wagers, commonly known as props, percentage, handle. What's it like?
Yeah, I mean, I think the matchup drives some of that. You know, we're probably, in this particular one, we're probably looking at, it's going to be about 35, maybe 40% as high. You know,
wow.
we've had 40% in years past, and these two teams, I think, offer up pretty good prop opportunities for a lot of stuff. And we're also, you know, we've got, you know, the Golden Knights in town now, so we're going to dedicate a whole sheet of props with Golden Knights to the game,
Nice.
some elements of that, because they play Sunday before the game. So we're going to have a VGK prop sheet as well. So
VGK.
yeah,
Will,
adding in a few elements of the local team here.
will all of the Vegas Golden Knights props be determined that day, or will those last for the rest of the Golden Knights season?
Yeah, it could be the rest of the Golden Knights season. We might tie a Golden Knights season prop to the game day, obviously, and the Super Bowl prop. So you'll be able to have action, all the way through to the end of the NHL season.
So do you and your boys, do you get in a room and formulate these? We're the Wednesday, the week before the Super Bowl as we record this. Do you get in a room tonight, caucus, come up with some of these creative ones?
Yeah, so tomorrow Jeff and I will sit down and we'll come up with what we like. We come up with a couple of prices. Generally we come to consensus on stuff, but there's some that we don't really feel great about, so then we'll sort of poll the staff a little bit and ask some of the square guys on my staff, who are generally vote with the public, and I have a couple of guys that are, sort of pseudo-wise guys. So we bounce it off of them and we see where they stand on it. And if one guy goes, oh yeah, I'd bet that in a heartbeat, then we know we're a little bit off and we tweak the price. But so we use our internal resources
Yes.
To sort of gauge what the public's going to do.
And people should know you actually have a guy who's your square guy who knows he's a square guy that you bounce this off
Absolutely, he's my
Okay.
director of golf. Yeah, so he's the square player. He's
All
the
right.
guy that bets the teasers. He bets the parlays. He lays the $10 or the 10-point favorite on the road. He's that guy.
Let's give one example of a more template-like prop that is given every Super Bowl, and just the names of the players changes. And it's your most popular one, which is first player to score a touchdown.
Oh, yeah.
And in this particular one, you could do this at the Play MGM app, and not just at our brick and mortars books here at MGM Resorts International, but also on the app. From a Patriot standpoint, Rob Gronkowski, who we assume is playing,
Yep.
5-1 to score the first touchdown.
Yep.
He is the low Patriot. The low Eagles, Jay Ajayi and Zach Ertz at 8-1.
Right.
Might be noteworthy that Tom Brady's at 20-1 to score the first touchdown of the game, and Nick Foles at 40-1.
Yeah, I mean, Tom Brady at 21, great value with the quarterback sneak, possibly when you get a pass interference penalty in the end zone. I mean, that sets up a really good opportunity there. That's why the difference between them and Nick Foles, because he's proven he's done that. But we're by far going to have the most liability on Gronk. Gronk is going to be the guy that everyone bets. Ticket count is going to be insane to Gronk. And then probably the next closest, might be a Jai on the Eagles.
Interesting. Props can be fun. Remember, number one rule of props, correlate it with your game handicap. If you think the Patriots are going to blow out the Eagles, you wouldn't bet unders on yardage totals for Patriots, to give a very simple example of that. Correlate them loosely so that it makes sense. Props, some of the most fun betting at the Super Bowl.
Absolutely.
Super Bowl 52, right here from the Aria, behind the book. It is the Behind the Book Sports Betting Series. Jay, it is time for the segment that is sweeping the nation. Okay, I exaggerated. But it's an awesome question today on Ask the Pro. You ready?
Yeah, they're asking the right guy on this.
Yes. You peaked, I see.
Yeah.
First time heading to Vegas and doing it on Super Bowl weekend. Where should I eat? Where should I drink? Where should I watch the game? Give me all your hot spots.
All right, yeah, so obviously, one of the best places we were talking before, I think that you can get a meal in Las Vegas is right here at Aria at Carbone's.
Oh,
I mean, it is an outstanding restaurant. They've got items on there that I've never seen in any other restaurant. Great place to eat. If you're here for only a few days, make sure that you hit one of those. Drink, pretty much any corner in this town, you can get a drink. I
Yeah.
mean, that's a no-brainer. But I mean, there's a couple of places that you're going to want to, scope out to watch the game for sure. It all really sort of depends on what kind of vibe you like.
That's right.
You like it here at the Aria where the vibe's a little bit more intimate, a little
I
bit more
do, Jay.
cozy. And my office is at the Mirage where it's just, we got a 90-foot wide screen, 20 feet tall. It's standing room only most of the time, but it's a great atmosphere to watch the game, especially, like when it's getting down late to the game and everybody's invested in the game and the point spread's in play and everybody's having a great time. It's just unbelievable electric atmosphere. I go out there and sometimes I watch the end of the game out there. If it's going to be ugly and I might use some inappropriate language, I tend to stay in the back. But I love to go out and watch the crowd. And then obviously we're a little bit beyond the dance club stuff.
speak for yourself, Jay Rude.
But there's plenty of night spots that you can hit here. up and down the strip, you're going to find Hakkasan, One Oak. We got all the famous nightclubs out here. You know, my kid's turning 20. Next year he's 21. I doubt I'll see him till 3 o'clock in the morning most Friday,
Jay threw
Saturday
out
nights.
Hakkasan.
Yeah.
Hakkastairs or Walkason for all you ladies with
Absolutely.
the high heels. Here's the thing. At the Aria itself, since we're doing it from here, let me just focus on the Aria. If money is no object and you just want to eat a great meal, Carbone, you cannot go wrong. Italian. Jean Georges, if you like short rib or something like that, hang out at the bar.
You like a slice.
Oh, if you just want to go low key, 510 pizza right next door.
Awesome.
The slice is it 510 or 550? 550. I shortchanged.
It costs about
$5.50. Yeah, it is about $5.10 a slice. So good. The 5 cheese pizza slice itself, outstanding. You will get fat, but you're on vacation. Enjoy it. And as far as the game itself, up and down, as Jay said, every book among the MGM properties is different. This one at the Aria, my living room, it's cozy, it's a living room,
and
all kinds of options.
You don't have to be a big VIP to really enjoy the atmosphere. I mean, you don't have to go to one of those big parties. I mean, everyone's making their own parties at all the different little nicks and crannies all around every property in Vegas.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're not at the game, which it could be miserable being at the game this year.
Minneapolis.
I mean, pretty cold. You got to be in Vegas. I mean, Vegas is, basically second to none. If you gave me a choice and I wasn't in this business, I would come to Vegas over going to the site every time.
That's truth. You're not just making that
No,
up.
I'm not making that up. Every time.
All the big game parties up and down the strip at MGM Resorts properties. Go to mgmresorts.com. All the options are there. Get the one that suits the vibe that you're looking for. The big game on February 4th, the Patriots and the Eagles. Enjoy it in Vegas. Back on Behind the Book, live from the Aria Hotel Casino here on the Strip in Vegas. Gil Alexander from the Vegas Stats and Information Network. Jay Rood, Vice President, Race and Sports, MGM Resorts International. Back to talk betting beyond the Super Bowl. You're coming into town, you know it's the big game, Super Bowl 52, but there's other betting options. And one of the sort of off-the-radar sports, Jay, that is so much fun to bet and potentially hugely profitable is golf. And of course, golf's major, the Masters, taking place in April. You got the futures lined up both in-house and on the Play MGM app as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we've had the futures up since probably 2 weeks after last year's Masters. So, we book a couple of the big tournaments all year long. Obviously, Tiger Woods, one of the guys that has been all over the place. We hung him at 100 to 1. We took a lot of liability on him early. He comes out, looks good in the Hero Challenge a little bit, and everyone gets really excited. Keeps pounding him down, and we had him down to 10 to 1 at one point. My Square director of golf was getting a little nervous, but we bumped him back up to 25 to 1. I think that's a legitimate price on a guy who's an unproven commodity at this point.
Was he really getting nervous about Tiger?
Oh yeah, well, if you were looking at the number on the screen that we were looking at, you get a little nervous. Yeah, absolutely.
That is incredible, though, that Tiger Woods, Eldrick Tiger Woods, who hasn't won a major in 10 years, hasn't won a golf tournament in many years, not the same golfer, obviously, that he was in his heyday, playing against a whole new generation of golfers that are not intimidated by him. You can pretty much hang that number at anything, and people will still bet this dude.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, he's the brand. I mean, the TW is the brand. TW.
So hip.
But I mean, there's a ton of value when you bet these big tournaments too, because there's so many guys that, like you said, they all play really strong now.
Yeah.
I mean, equipment has changed the game. Diet and trainers have changed the game. I mean, everyone's got a swing coach. If you would ask Lee Trevino and those guys, who's your swing coach? They would have been like, get out of here.
Lee Trevino never saw a swing coach in his life.
Never, yeah.
Here's the thing, Jordan Spieth, 7 to 1. He is the short shot right now. Ricky Fowler and Dustin Johnson, no surprise, at 8 to 1. Justin Thomas at 9 to 1. Rory McIlroy, the usual suspects, at 9 to 1 and 10 to 1, respectively. I had made a big bet on Charlie Hoffman off the radar at 100 to 1.
Little wise guy bet.
I look now, he's at 30 to 1. How about me, Jay Rood?
Yeah, he's drawing some good money, and he played well in the Hero Challenge, and he always shows up big at the Masters. He loves that course. He loves walking around there with that flat billed hat that he wears,
Good luck for him.
I think he's going to, give you a solid performance. And another guy I think that's going to possibly have a bounce back year and who's, kind of getting overlooked is Jason Day. I mean, he had a really, really rough personal year last year with his mom's health and everything. And I think at 20 to 1, he's a solid guy because he's been in the mix really hard at the Masters late. I think it would be a guy that if I was looking to put my money down, which I might.
And you do know golf.
I do know golf,
Yes.
and some of the better things too. If you really do your homework, I mean, you can find some golf matchups where you're betting one golfer against another for just one round or for the whole tournament.
Right.
That it offers some really great value because, you know, there's not a huge strong opinions in these matchups. I mean, the highest you'll see sometimes is $1.60, maybe $1.80, when really one of the golfers is a superior dominant person or player over the other guy, and it's simply because they understand the course better.
Yes, and professional bettors in golf make their hay mostly on those
On the
types of
matchups.
bets.
Yeah, those are the ones
Matchups.
that are scary for a bookmaker.
Yes. Let's scare Jay Rude. Come and make some good golf bets here while you're here for Super Bowl weekend. And that does it for this week's Behind the Book. We will be back here next week, of course, live from the Aria to talk about Super Bowl 52 some more. For Jay Rude, Vice President Race and Sports, MGM Resorts International, Gil Alexander from the Vegas Stats and Information Network. Good luck with all your bets in whatever sport you're betting this week and in the Super Bowl coming up next week.